Hi, I'm Deborah King, one of the Elder Care Coordinators here at Takacs McGinnis Elder Care Law. Death and taxes. These are the only things that are certain in life. During the month of April, it's time to think about them both. April is the month taxes are due, and April 16th has been designated as Healthcare Decision Day to remind us that death is just around the corner. When a person dies, the culture designates what happens to the body. Many families ask about whether funeral arrangements should be pre-planned. This is sometimes suggested as a spend-down strategy for people wishing to qualify for public benefits. Many people don't realize that the Federal Trade Commission has put safeguards into place to protect consumers. Funeral providers are required to follow these guidelines, which are known as the Funeral Rule. Enforced by the Federal Trade Commission, the Funeral Rule offers 10 important protections. It's vital that you know about them if you will be planning a funeral for a loved one. I'll be covering 5 of the 10 Funeral Rule protections in this video, and 5 more in the second video in the series. In the third video, I'll share some tips for funeral pre-planning. In Funeral Rule number 1, you have the right to buy only the funeral arrangements that you want. You have the right to buy separate goods, such as a casket, and services, such as embalming or a memorial service. You do not have to accept a package that may include items you do not want. Funeral Rule number 2 gives you the right to get price information on the telephone. Funeral directors must give you the price information on the telephone if you ask for it. You don't have to give them your name and address and telephone number first. Although they are not required to do so, many funeral homes mail their price lists, and some post them online. In Funeral Rule number 3, you have the right to get a written, itemized price list when you visit a funeral home. The funeral home must give you a general price list that is yours to keep. It lists all the items and services the home offers and the cost of each one. Funeral Rule number 4 gives you the right to see a written casket price list before you see the actual caskets. Sometimes detailed casket price information is included on the funeral home's general price list. More often, though, it's provided on a separate casket price list. Get the price information before you see the caskets so that you can ask about lower priced products that may not be on display. Funeral Rule number 5 gives you the right to see a written outer burial container price list. Did you know that outer burial containers are not required by state law anywhere in the United States, but many cemeteries require them to prevent the grave from caving in? If the funeral home sells containers but doesn't list their prices on the general price list, you have the right to look at a separate container price list before you see the containers. If you don't see the lower priced containers listed, ask about them. That's it for today. I'll cover Funeral Rules 6 through 10 in the next video. See you then.